As in the House, the jurisdiction over Medicare is split between two committees, Ways and Means and Energy and Commerce. And oftentimes it's difficult for committees who share jurisdiction to share it to the highest level of actually looking at the product instead of protecting what it is that's different between committees. And so one, I want to thank him for his friendship. Two, I want to thank him for the way in which we have been able to work together to make sure that any institutional impediment in the House didn't stand in the way. In fact, working together, I believe the House is better able to deal with the issues because of the shared talent of the Ways and Means Committee and the Energy and Commerce staff. And I know it's easier on me because whenever you have someone from Louisiana on the conference from the Senate, I feel a whole lot better having someone from Louisiana on the House side. But more importantly than that, it's his knowledge, his understanding, and his ability to make things work. Thank you very much, Chairman Tauzin.
Thank you, Chairman Thomas, and thank you all. As we approach the season of Thanksgiving, this Congress is on the verge of finally saying thanks and giving the generation of seniors who preceded us, who paved the way for this country to live in freedom and greatness, this special generation of Americans who are now seniors. We're on the verge of finally saying thank you to them and giving them something they sorely need, prescription drug coverage. In addition, we're doing something very special in this bill. We're attacking the high cost of prescription drugs simultaneously. This bill will contain reforms that our two committees have worked out in the Hatch-Waxman generic drug area to make sure that generic drugs enter the marketplace sooner. They're not delayed by unnecessarily filings and delays. That, in fact, more than one generic drug can enter simultaneously and compete with one another so that seniors and the programs that insure them will get cheaper prices. We repeal the artificial price structures in the government codes that have prevented Medicare and Medicaid systems to buy drugs at cheaper rates than fixed arbitrary prices in the system. We're reforming the awful average wholesale price system, which in some cases posted government prices for medicine 10, 20, 100 times higher than the actual sale prices. We're beginning to make sure the actual sale prices are the prices that seniors will pay their copays on, rather than these artificially high prices designed to try to compensate providers under the system. We reform those awful prices and still make sure that providers, the doctors who do cancer surgeries and cancer treatments and respiratory and urinary treatments, that all those doctors who have to claim reimbursement under the Medicare system, under that old system, will be able to get honest and fair and decent and generous practice expense reimbursement so they can continue their programs to treat the most vulnerable of our seniors who suffer from cancer and other debilitating injuries and diseases. This is an historic time this week. This is the week that our generation, yours and mine, says thank you and finally keeps the promise that we made to seniors when these programs were started a long time ago. Finally keeps the promise that the real modern medicines that keep seniors alive are going to be made available to them. And then in no case will a senior lose everything they've saved and earned and worked so hard for because of the high cost of medicines in their last years. This bill will contain catastrophic coverage. It will do what the House wanted so badly to do, and that is to make sure that there was choice for seniors, different forms of programs that fit their specific needs, not just one designed by government, but different choices for them while reserving for them always the opportunity and the right to stay within the program they're accustomed to staying in. That's the kind of compact we made with seniors a long time ago. This bill, this compromise, keeps that promise. I want to thank a few people who are not here. Majority Leader Frist is here representing the leadership of the Senate, but the leadership of the House came in at the last minute and helped make sure this compromise was finally achieved. All the members here, and you can see this is a bipartisan group of members from the House and Senate, will tell you that we came close, but it was difficult to close the final gaps. Our leadership rose to that task on the House and Senate side. And they, I believe, will be remembered by generations of Americans for the leadership they demonstrated in these last few days. They are principally responsible for us having, I think, a chance to go into conference this week and present the bills to the House and Senate. And they and our president deserve an awful lot of credit for making sure that we acted as Americans, not like Democrats and Republicans, but we acted like Americans when it came our turn to do something important and lasting and meaningful for the good of our country. Thank you.
And now, if we could pass out, we have a